some of that tax money went towards compensation for slave owners. Not the slaves, the slave owners was compensated for their loss of revenue and slave labor by we, the farmer slaves and our ancestors, because this thing is a very serious thing for know that and people in England, we want to talk to the people in England, black people in England, white people in England, that the government of England have been paying money for compensate the people them who lost out on the abolition of slavery. The white people them who lost out on the abolition of slavery. They were paid by the taxpayers of England. And it's not in the years when we know that we're not born, you know. Everybody who are listening to me now did born when them are paid that. Everybody where I listen to me now, even my little brethren Brian and so, who are just not. If you never reach the year, if I'm not all him help white people who did own slave, he might pay them money because I know say Brian born before 2015, which is 3 years ago. Now all them tell you say slavery done. And them can't pay the African them reparation money. Listen to what we are talking about now, you know, because we read in our history that when them abolish slavery, them give the planters them £20 million for compensate them for the loss of revenue that them would have get if them still have the slave them. So them give them £20 million. We are talking about Jamaica now. Because that me learn in our history. Them give them £20 million. But did you know? Because it's the slave trade them abolish, you know, it's not slavery. It's the slave trade them abolish, not slavery. Now I want the people them know which has come to light now, and we give thanks for the reparation committee for bring this after researching and researching. Did you know that even though the United Kingdom refused to apologize for slavery, was paying off debt up to 2015 for slavery, was paying money to the people them who lost out up to 2015, which is 3 years ago, 15, 16, 17, 2 years ago. Money was being paid out of the coffers of the British government. They must pay money. Listen to this. And September, I remember say when Cameron come here, you know, him say we must forget about it, you know. And what if Jamaican people never realize a Cameron family benefit off a slave and slave labor. The same man who come here and tell us we must forget about slavery because them think they're a long time thing. On September the 30th, 2015, when Prime Minister David Cameron of Great Britain and Northern Ireland addressed the Jamaican Parliament and told the people of the island and region that slavery was a long time ago and that it was time black people get over it. These are the exact words they use. We must get over slavery. He was not speaking the truth. He was speaking the greatest falsehood of the modern era in respect of the crime of British slavery. He must have known the truth. The truth now reveals that his government in 2015, this is when him come here, you know. Him come here in September the 30th, 2015 and start this thing. he was not speaking the truth. The truth now reveals that his government in 2015 was still paying off the slavery abolition loan of 1834. Which one I born 1834? Me never born 1834. Me no buyer never born 1834. Because me am buyer, me older than buyer. You understand? Imagine this, you know. The British was paying off slavery loan from 1834, and the loan them paid off, finished paying it off in 2015. Slavery loan we are talking about. The British people was paying money to pay off a loan that was granted in 1834, and them done pay it off in 2015. And the guy come here, the Cameron come here, come tell us they must forget about slavery, you know. Meanwhile, wrote in the same 2015, him come here, it's the same 2015, them pay off the money. Historians have now got to the bottom of the financial crime. They have revealed the shocking news that British paid the last installment of the 1834 slavery abolition loan on the 15th of February 2015. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months before Cameron come here, the British government finished pay off a slavery abolition loan. What's the slavery abolition loan? Is to compensate the loss of revenue to the slave masters. The revelation speaks to the persistent dishonesty of British governments and the Prime Minister about the system of African enslavement as a distant event. In other words, them want to make a feel it's a long time thing. We must forget about it. It's a long time thing. 2015 is not a long time. A remote history with no connection and relevance to the present. This persistent lie was exposed by the evidence from the Majesty's Treasury. Where this information come from? This information coming from Her Majesty's Treasury, which shows that the slavery loan was several times refinanced and finally paid off just 3 years ago. People, I want to listen to this because I'm not going to stop here this on IRFM, you know. We're not going to stop here this on IRFM. Because I know Cabo, I'm going to pick it up, say it, and she's going to say it again and again and again, and I'm going to keep saying it. They were paying money, slavery loan, up to 15th of February 2015. This is something them tell us that we must forget about. That them think they have a long time. This revelation speaks to, all right, yes. Vice Chancellor at the University of the West Indies, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, who is also an economic historian, revealed that research into the archives of the Bank of England, His Majesty's Treasury, and the Rothschild Merchant Bank shows that successive recent, listen to this,